I got the bloodlust. Me too. I want to kill. Let's kill.
Hello, listeners, and welcome to The Bloodlust. This is your go-to podcast for classy broads talking horror since 2014. This is episode 250 of the program. Tonight we are talking about The First Omen. 2 theater movies in a row, both with very similar plots. But we will get into that. My name is Amy, I'm your fearless leader, joined as always by my lovely and talented co-host, Jamie.
Hello.
Hello, friend. How have you been?
I've been fine.
That's great.
Enjoying a lovely weekend. A little chilly, but sunny, so I'll take it.
Yeah, it's sunny today. It's a little nicer out.
Yeah.
You went and saw a comedy show last night?
I did. Friend of the podcast, Becky, her friend Sophie, who is a comedian in Canada and also tours in the U.S. in some areas, but her boyfriend, Mace, I should know this, Mace Galani, he put us on the list, Karen and myself. We drove out to Ann Arbor to go see him, and he was hilarious. So, quick follow on Instagram, totally worth following. He has very funny sense of humor. And we had a great time at the show. He was very friendly and very nice. Yep, Mace Galani. And I think it's just Mace Galani on Instagram. But, I was a big fan. It's just that kind of, I don't know, just sort of like observational humor. It doesn't need to be anything like crazy. It was all very topical and funny. A lot of self-depreciation stuff, like real world experiences with his girlfriend. Very funny analogy about a microwave and not using protection while having sex. Like, it's look it up on Instagram, it's on there, but it was hilarious. We had a great time. It seemed like the audience really loved him too. So,
and where was it at?
It was at the Showcase in Ann Arbor.
Oh, I don't think I've been there.
It's a tiny little place, right downtown. So it was nice. Went out to dinner at the Black Pearl before that, and yeah, good times. But yeah, Mace Galani, check him out. He's very funny.
Very good. Very good.
Peace. We love our Canadians.
Of course. The Great White North.
Yeah.
I've just been reading a lot. I haven't been going out much. I had COVID, which lasted for a really long time. And then I had an issue with my water tank my hot water heater, and leaking all over my floor and scaring the shit out of me, making me think that I had a pipe that burst under my house.
Yeah, that like that initial panic where you're like, where's it coming from? Where's the water coming from?
Oh God, what is this? Yep. We had rain. I wasn't sure.
Yeah,
I'm on
what
a
does it
slab.
mean?
I don't have a basement. I thought maybe my foundation is compromised. There's a pipe. We took up part of the floor. Thank God Kay is a floor layer now.
Nice.
So she can fix
Convenient.
that. Yes.
Glad it was just the water heater.
Oh,
it's
my
not
God,
like,
me
it's
too.
not always a cheap fix, but like significantly cheaper than if you had to deal with some sort of foundational fix or piping.
Exactly. Yeah. And my tax return took care of it, so I guess it was just a wash for me. Mm-hmm.
Yay.
Yeah. So I haven't been doing much socially, but I have been reading a lot because it helps to mitigate the anxiety, the constant anxiety of what the hell is wrong and how much is it going to cost me.
Yeah.
So I did finish the book Jawbone by Monica Ojeda, which was decent. I'd give it maybe a 3.
Okay.
It was an interesting writing style that I didn't always love, but you kind of get into the groove of it, and it's becomes interesting. It's about these 15-year-old girls at this very elite school and how they start playing these weird, very wild and unhinged games at this abandoned building.
Okay.
And how they end up playing pranks on one of their teachers who's very emotionally sensitive and fragile.
Yes.
Yeah. And who ends up retaliating. It's an interesting story.
Okay. Well, it sounds interesting.
Yeah. And then I'm reading one now called Boys in the Valley by Philip Fracassi, which is it's my first book I've read by him, but I really like it so far. It's very reminiscent of The Troop.
Oh,
A very immediate, action-packed, kind of scary, just immediately scary, not a whole lot of frills.
Yeah,
kind of
The
book.
Troop was a very fun read.
This one is shaping up to be the same way. It's not very long. It's like 300 pages or something. And I'm about halfway through. And it's pretty creepy. Pretty creepy. It takes place at an orphanage, early 1900s, with these priests and these young boys. And they bring this man who is possessed to the orphanage because it's the closest place nearby and they need medical help.
How very topical and apt for this episode.
Yeah, it's reminding me a lot of that, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. I finally finished my one that I started when I was in Florida and got all the way through because I had all the free time in the world.
Yeah.
And I had beach, which is always like just sit and read on the beach. But yeah,
that's the best thing to do.
A fatal thing happened on the way to the forum. Can't recommend it enough. I probably already talked about it, but
you did, but it sounds very
anyone who
interesting.
loves history, anyone who loves murder, true crime, and Roman history in particular, it was a solid read. It's one I'll probably read again. I'm a habitual rereader. But
yeah,
sure
I like to reread things. I find that you get a lot more out of rereading a book.
Especially nonfiction. I get sucked in really quickly, and some sections, depending on what they're talking about, can be pretty dense, so it's harder to get through, and you may not have absorbed all of the information, and I like to absorb all of it.
I try to absorb all of it, but damn, I can't retain a whole lot. Jonah's reading The Secret History right now, and I read that probably 10 years ago. I'm having a really hard time talking to him about it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, ask me 10 years from now, maybe not. Although I did study Roman history, so I probably have a better grasp on it. But still, I'm just saying, I can retain it for the next week or two.
Even though I retain nothing, it's fun to revisit things.
Yeah, of course.
What did I just reread? I reread Stephen King's Night Shift.
Oh, that's fun.
It had been a while since I read that one.
Yep. It's one of my favorites, actually.
Yeah, me too. All right, let's get to our round table. Sorry, I just bumped the microphone. Like I said, this movie, The First Omen, is very similar to Immaculate, which we reviewed last time in episode 249. Last time we talked about religious horror. This time we're going to talk about pregnancy and horror. Pregnancy and horror. And some of our favorite examples, some interesting examples, some that are lesser known. What are some of your favorite instances of pregnancy and horror, Jamie?
Okay. Well, funnily enough, we were just talking a little bit about not even funnily, just appropriately enough. We were talking about Men, Alex Garland, because we really want to cover Civil War in an upcoming episode. I'm super interested in that and a big fan of his, though I wasn't wild about the movie Men. It was visually shocking and
it sure was,
and pretty amazing. So I'll give him that. I just think the concept of it and the plot and the story wasn't for me. But in terms of pregnancy horror, there's a very specific scene in that movie that is not anything I've ever seen before. And
sure isn't.
It takes you a minute to sort of process what you're seeing. It's super fucked up. I've never met anybody who's seen that movie who doesn't agree that scene in particular is just a total mind fuck.
Remember how we were in the theater and someone walked in and sat down right before that started?
Yeah. It's oh, you couldn't have picked the crazy time to sit in here.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I hope you know what you were getting into. Had some idea. But outside of that, I would say, and this is a movie we haven't covered on the show, but I watched it sort of when it first came out. I was really kind of in love with it. It's the director, Julia D, something French. She did Raw, but it's that Titan.
Oh, yeah. We never talked about it. I didn't know you watched it.
Oh, I did. And I loved it. That movie is fucking crazy.
It's wild, isn't it?
I love it so much. Her direction style and how she shows and how she illustrates what's happening and the pace of things is so captivating to me. And that's what I loved so much about Raw. Everything just, you were sucked in right away and everything felt so intense and crazy. And Titan is nuts. It's nuts. It's a woman who like has a sexual relationship with a car at one point. Like
Who impregnates her.
Gets impregnated by a car. Like
That's right.
It's crazy. But it's also unique. It's not in anything else. And it is super fascinating. Like you cannot take your eyes away from it when you're watching it.
Yeah, I don't know how it fares overall.
I loved it. I thought it was great.
There are certain scenes in that I think are so captivating and so interesting.
Oh, yeah.
The scene with the men dancing at the fire station.
Yes.
I loved that.
And I think I
even
loved
the part where she like flips out and murders the people in the apartment.
Oh, yeah.
There's something so darkly comedic about it. And
they're definitely weird, like
great.
Weird, funny, like comedic moments in it
Yes.
where you like feel strange about laughing, but like clearly that's there to sort of break the tension of what's going on because it's so insane. But I remember reading when I first watched it that like the main actress in it was just a model who like whatever they do, submitted her information for this role.
Is that right?
But like had never really done a ton of acting before, was mainly just a model. And the fact that she just goes for it 100% through this entire thing, like there's a lot of nudity, but it's not in like a objectifying sort of way. It's like in a very interesting, like, I don't know, it lends itself well to the plot and where the story is going. But just the fact that there's no real acting experience in the history of this actress, and she fucking kills it because this is like a wild role.
Yeah, it's definitely a role she had to be really fearless for.
100%. You have to be completely open to just putting yourself out there in every way.
And I love the guy that played like the father figure. To
Oh,
her.
yes.
He was amazing.
He was, for sure. It just makes me kind of want to watch it again. I haven't gone back to it yet. And it's been a while since I saw it shortly after it first came out, but
when is she going to make something else?
I love her. It
Yeah.
makes me want to rewatch Raw too, which
It's been years since I've watched that. I'd really
fan
like
of
to
Raw.
watch that again.
But can't recommend that enough. I'd say those are two of my more like memorable pregnancy horror movies. And I mean, it's easy to say Rosemary's Baby because like that's such an easy one to think of, and it's such a fucking solid movie, and
it's the ultimate movie about
100%. So like it felt
pregnancy
pointless
horror.
to even mention it, even though I just did. But I wasn't going to bring that up as one of my favorites because it's kind of like the creme de la creme of pregnancy horrors.
It's also one of the greatest horror movies of all time.
Sure.
So I would say if you haven't seen it, listeners, and you're thinking, well, it's old, it can't be scary, just watch it.
I don't like old movies. I'm not a fan of them. And I love Rosemary's Baby.
It's a perfect film.
It's awesome.
The mystery, how it unfolds, Mia
The
Farrow's
acting's great in it.
performance,
Oh, yeah. Like the direction,
Ruth Gordon's
the shots.
performance.
Like, it builds this
the
crazy...
extra-
She is fucking great. It builds such an insane tension as you're watching it. And you just feel like... You feel what she's going through.
Yes, the way that we are Rosemary in the
Yeah.
movie and that we figure things out with her, I think was really smart. A smart way to do it. Because, it could have
Agreed.
been that we know the answer and she doesn't. And we wait for her
Yeah.
to figure it out.
No,
But
it's all
we're with her
revealed at the same time.
And the thing that I love, too, about Rosemary's Baby is even though it, like most pregnancy horror movies, are about the loss of agency, which is a really powerful theme in horror, of course. 'Cause
Sure.
It's a scary thing that can happen to anybody, especially women. It gives Rosemary's character so much agency, so much more than females had in movies at that time, I would say, because, she's the one investigating this stuff. She's the one that takes the initiative and makes all these connections, and
She's solving the mystery, essentially.
and at the end, she's the one that makes the choice to do what she does.
Yeah. It's weird. So thinking about pregnancy horror, this is not horror in the traditional genre sense, but I've been rewatching The Handmaid's Tale.
Oh, that's horror.
And I'm gonna put that in with pregnancy horror.
Sure.
Because even getting halfway through the first season, I'm like, fuck, I remember why I stopped watching this. Because, like, it hits in a way.
It's too much. It's too close to home. I can't handle it. The
I
book
love
made
it.
me so depressed.
Oh, the book totally depressed me. But like the show, I'm forcing myself to get through it. I stopped, I think, halfway through the second season the first time because
Really?
it was just, I couldn't do it. Like I wasn't in the right place to like separate myself from it and be like, this is what I'm watching is actually fiction. And I have to remember that, even though there might be certain things taking place that like are a little too similar to what's going on.
Ugh.
And now it's not like it has gotten any better, but
Sure hasn't.
it's fine. I'm more desensitized, unfortunately, to some things, so I can watch it. And I'm just ready to be horrified by stuff. Like I need that sort of conditioning so that I've prepared myself for when when shit goes down in life.
Well, I guess in that, if we go with that thinking, you and I are more prepared than the average person, so that's nice.
Yeah, for sure. We do have, that's our superpower.
I guess so.
But yeah,
Desensitization.
I'm going to throw that in there with the pregnancy horror.
Yeah, for sure.
Because just using women as just simply nothing more than vessels for baby making is horrific.
It sure is. I'm going to throw Prevenge in there. Have you seen that?
Oh, yeah.
I love Prevenge. It was written and filmed and made and stars a pregnant woman. And it is about a pregnant woman who is in a bad life situation, and her baby starts talking to her and encouraging her to kill. It's very smart. It's very funny.
Yeah, I feel like we watched this together. I know I watched it with somebody.
Did we?
We might. I don't know.
The first time I saw it was at an airport during a layover.
Okay, so it wasn't then, but
we may have watched it together at some point.
yeah, I've only watched it the once, and I really liked it. Like, I agree. It's very smart.
And it's a
well-done
perspective
movie.
that we don't often see. And one that I thought was very interesting. I really like her a lot. And it's also a very visually interesting movie.
Yeah.
There's some cool imagery of her with her face painted in a way that Fever Ray did for one of her first tour. And I love it. And I did my face like that for Halloween one year.
Oh, nice.
So I would say Prevenge is one I highly recommend about pregnancy and horror. Another one I could think of is Inside, the French extremity film about the terrorized woman who's pregnant. Her pregnancy isn't really the cause. It's the reason that she's targeted, but it's not the cause of the horror. The cause of the horror is her being, her home being invaded by a crazy person.
But like, the French extremist movies, they hit differently.
Yeah, that's not one of my favorites. But
not mine either, but it's
intense. Oh boy, is it intense.
It hits all the beats.
It's definitely one I recommend if you're not squeamish.
Yeah.
It's very, very, very gory. Another one I could think of is The Brood, the David Cronenberg
I have
film.
The Brood listed on mine too.
It's my favorite, I think, of his movies.
Yeah.
And I just find it really
most fun.
really funny. And I like the subject matter of that one the best, I think, of his other movies, although I love Crimes of the Future. His newest.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
It's cool. It's very cool.
Isn't there another Cronenberg that the daughter? Isn't she?
Oh, well, I think his daughter's a photographer, but his son is the one who did.
I know, but I'm pretty sure she's doing a movie also.
Is she?
Uh-huh. Caitlin Cronenberg. It's Humane. It comes out this year.
Ah.
Director and producer.
You have a synopsis?
Let me look it up. I thought she was doing something. In the wake of an environmental collapse that is forcing humanity to shed 20% of its population, a family dinner erupts into chaos when a father's plan to enlist in the government's new euthanasia program goes horribly awry.
Ooh, I love that idea.
Yep, already love it. And Jay Baruchel is in it. I like him.
Oh, the kid
and
from,
Peter Gallagher. I just always remember his eyebrows.
Yeah, Mr. Eyebrows.
But yeah, I like Jay. He's in that End of the World movie.
This is the end, yeah.
Yeah, that gives me such anxiety. Even though it's a funny movie, it gives me an insane amount of anxiety.
Really?
Yes.
Because of the
it's just
apocalypse?
I think just how it all goes down, it like just makes me very anxious, but it's a hilarious movie. The whole 5 minutes where they're doing the jerk off move, motion. It's Danny McBride. He really steals the show in that for me.
It's been a while. I saw that in the theater and not since.
Oh, I've watched it a couple times.
But I remember the Jonah Hill exorcism scene being very funny.
Uh-huh. All of it is very funny. Emma Watson, she's hilarious in it. Like, it's all pretty good. But anyways, yeah, so she's got a movie coming out this year.
Interesting. Yeah, it sounds real good.
So we'll probably cover that for sure.
I think so. Her brother's been doing good stuff.
Yes.
Couple other pregnancy horror films I would recommend. There's a one called Proxy, which has some interesting twists and turns. I thought it was really good.
I definitely watched that one.
It's once I realized what was going on, I was like, oh my God, it's right there. It's right there in front of you. It's just a cleverly done movie. I liked it.
Yeah.
It's probably like 10 years old or so now. A couple recent ones. Well, also Anti-Birth is a funny movie with, she was in But I'm a Cheerleader. She was on Orange is the New Black. Natasha Lyonne.
Oh, I like her.
Anti-Birth is a funny movie with Natasha Lyonne that is a kind of body horror comedy about a hard partying woman who is impregnated, I think, by aliens.
Awesome.
And the movie is about her trying to find an abortion. And so that one, I think, it's not great, but it's funny, and it's worth seeing.
Okay.
Deliver Us was another one that came out recently about giving birth to a nun giving birth to a demon baby.
What? Wow, that's very...
Another one.
Yeah, it's a hot theme right now.
There was one I thought was decent called Huesera the Bone Woman. It was, I think,
I could not get into that.
I didn't like all the cracky poppiness. It ruined it for me.
I tried. I fell asleep twice in it, and I was like, meh, I'm not going back.
I thought the underlying story was good and had some interesting real life kind of plot that was pretty good. But the horror part of it, I don't know. It was interesting for its depiction of a woman trying to take control of her life.
Yeah.
But the horror parts I didn't love. So I think my favorite is probably, other than Rosemary's Baby, of course, is probably Prevenge.
Okay.
Also, remember that scene in Prometheus where Noomi Rapace gives herself a C-section?
I love that scene. It's so nuts. I was going to say, though, like, if we're going to talk about pregnancy horror, like, Alien should absolutely be included in that, because all of those, it's an unorthodox pregnancy. It's not one that we're used to seeing, but that's what it is. That's how they reproduce their babies and get them going.
That's very true.
Little face
very
huggers.
True. Yeah, you can't have a conversation about pregnancy horror and not include Alien.
But yeah, that scene in particular where she has to do that and like keeps shooting herself with the like, hopefully some sort of drug to numb the pain, and then cuts herself. Oh, yeah. I know there's a lot of hate, I think, out there for Prometheus, but I really like that movie.
That was the scene, I think, where I was like, oh my God, this movie. Like, I was wanting to really love it. And that was where it took it from me into a campy direction that I wasn't sure I wanted.
It did take it into a campy direction, because you're like, there's no way you're going to be putting on a suit and like running and fighting anything after that. But I still liked the action of that movie.
I like the idea of the movie, and I loved
Michael Fassbender in that movie.
Sure. Well, sure.
He was a great little robot.
This is a long roundtable discussion. We've gone 25 minutes already.
Oof. All right.
We were going to talk about some trailers, but why don't we save that for the end?
Sure.
And get into the movie. All right, Jamie, would you like to give us the stats for this movie, please? The First Omen, in case you forgot.
Sure, yes. I did forget. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't. It's rated R, runtime an hour and 59 minutes, which felt like 2 hours and 59 minutes. It was directed by Arkasha Stevenson, written by Arkasha Stevenson, Tim Smith, and Keith Thomas. It stars Nell Tiger Free, Ralph Ineson, and Sonia Braga. Released in theaters April 5th, 2024. On Rotten Tomatoes, it's 81% critics, 70% audience. Fresh for both of those.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to change the synopsis. I just put another at the beginning of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's very similar to what we just did.
Another young novitiate from the U.S. arrives at her new home in an Italian convent and soon realizes that things are not as they seem.
Ta-da!
Exactly the same. In this case, her name's Margaret. She is played by Nell Tiger-Free from Game of Thrones. There are 3 people from Game of Thrones in this film.
I mean, I was a big Game of Thrones person, and
You don't remember her?
Don't even recognize her from Game of Thrones. I recognize the other 2, like, right away.
Yeah. I don't
But
know who
not
she was
her.
because I didn't watch it.
Well, I gotta look it up because...
She was an orphan herself.
Oh, she was Marcella? She was barely in it. Okay. And she was also much younger, so she was Marcella.
Like a baby? She was a kid?
No, she was just like a teen.
Okay.
But hardly in it at all. Okay. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. I just needed to know.
Well, at any rate, she was an orphan who had weird behavioral issues. At the beginning, you see her being tied down and stuff, and hear her like reminiscing about it. She had behavioral problems. She decided to become a novitiate. She goes to Rome because Bill Nighy, who is a cardinal or something, invites her to go there to take her vows. It's also an orphanage, and she finds that she feels a connection with this young girl who also has weird behavioral problems, who licks her face when she first meets her and draws lots of creepy pictures.
I mean, as you do.
Yeah, this takes place in 1971, right before the incidents that happen in the original Omen movie, which came out in, I think, 76. And it takes place in Rome at the time when there's lots of protests going on against the government and against the Catholic Church. This is the first Omen movie in 18 years. They did a reboot in like 2006. That I don't think was very well received. I didn't remember anything about it anyway. Of course, the classic Omen from 76 stars Gregory Peck. And they reference him as if the reboot didn't happen in this movie. So this is the 6th movie in the Omen franchise. Arkasha Stevenson made Channel Zero Butcher's Block, which was cool. Very visually striking season of Channel Zero. She hasn't done any other feature film or any feature films. One of the writers for this, Keith Thomas, did a movie called The Vigil, which is a decent horror movie that's on Hulu. Not too much else as far as pedigree for them. This movie did get a higher Rotten Tomato score in both critics and audience than Immaculate. So how do you think this one compared? What'd you think of it?
It's very interesting doing these 2 back to back because I think, again, we've said, and it's pretty clear, they're very similar, like incredibly similar in what they're doing. Maybe not the end goal of what's happening in the story is the same, but like it's a nun coming from America, going to Italy, like taking her vows, but also then like becoming pregnant and like that sort of thing. So they're similar but very different. I think this one is a little more successful in terms of the story and like the cohesiveness of the like A to B storyline. I think Immaculate, as we discussed last time, like very much faltered in that it kind of went off track for me in some places, and it just got like really campy and really weird. Whereas like I feel like they were trying to make sort of a serious thing, and they had opportunity to sort of touch on some serious notes, and they just didn't. But visually, it had some really beautiful moments in the movie. And I would say the same as for this. Like I think this movie had some moments where visually there were some really nice looking scenes, and I think it felt more organic, I guess. Like it felt more realistic in what was happening, and the sort of like, I liked even though I felt this movie was far too long and needed to be trimmed down, and the pacing was really rough. I think I really enjoyed the moments where the movie took the time to sort of show us the nuns like having nun free time for a few minutes, and they were like jumping on a trampoline and smoking cigarettes and stuff. Like, I enjoyed that. I thought
it gave you a better sense of the place and the time and setting it in a real spot than Immaculate did, for sure.
For sure. So I appreciated that, and I liked that a lot. Like I whispered to you in the movie theater, like I kind of saw where they were going partway through it, and I was like, okay, I see what's happening here. Not that ruined it for me, but like I could tell that was going to be their big reveal at the end.
Absolutely,
and I had already caught on to that. So that could just be I'm a seasoned horror watcher, and so I'm cued in to look for those sorts of things. But I think the acting in this was really good. I just think it was too long. Like, weirdly, I think as a movie, as a whole solid movie, this was stronger than Immaculate.
Mm-hmm, I agree.
And I liked the plot of it. I liked the story and the concept. I thought all of that was very successful. I just thought there were parts that just were too long. And they needed to be trimmed. And it felt like either there were scenes that were like literally shot in slow motion, and I'm just thinking, like, sitting there like, oh my God, like, fucking speed this up. Like, speed it up. Or like, I need to see where this is going. You built all of this tension, and you've gotten us to this point, like, and then you're holding us back from it. You're edging us because now you've got this like long slow motion thing. Like, get us, what's the reveal? Like, get us there. And then the end, I thought was horseshit. Like, the end was terrible in my opinion. But
I don't know why they bothered trying to make it perfectly line up to the Omen, because it doesn't plot-wise.
No, it doesn't. And maybe it's because, like, I've never been a huge fan of the Omen. Like, I've seen 1 and 2, I think. They're just not of my favorite horror movies that I like. But it's just weird. The ending, like, really left just a sour taste in my mouth by the end of it, because I think I was almost able to look past or look over the length of the movie and the pacing problems that I think were the biggest detriment, is that it felt too long and it needed to be edited to be a tighter movie. And there were some plot hole things that like couldn't be explained away, and it just felt weird. But by the ending was bad. By the time the end hit, I was like, okay, well, that's just shit. Like, you didn't need that at all. Like, that was in no way even needed.
The only reason they needed is to make it another movie.
Exactly. Was to build that. And I hate that stuff. I'm at the point where it's like, we should be over that. You can still, people are building franchises, like movie companies are building franchises on nothing now.
Right. Like, they're making 6 movie deals out of nothing. You do not
to tee it up in that sort of obvious fucking way at the end of a movie in order to create another one from it. You could have done that. You easily could have done that by ending it at any point before that. And it didn't happen. And then the fact that they ended it with the ending that they did, I hated it so much. I mean, it's tough because I think the main actress, Nell Tiger-Free, I think she did a really solid job in this. I think she had to like carry a lot of facial acting. Like, we said multiple times, like, crazy eyes.
Her eyes were so crazy.
There were a lot of crazy eyes in this movie in general.
Most of them for her, but there was also that other weird nun with no brows.
And I think that's going to be, other than the ending, that character is my second biggest beef with this movie. Where it's like, there's all this mystery built up with, and kind of larger spoiler warning here, because you might not want to know these things if you haven't seen it yet, but you've got this weird, mysterious, like, fucking batshit crazy nun. There's never any explanation as to why she's that way, like what purpose she's serving toward their end goal. The weird stuff that she does, how does that play into where we end up by the end of this movie? Like, none of that is concluded. There's nothing building on any of that. So she was a compelling, like, weird-ass character in this that was given nothing. That was just, like, put in and then taken out.
She was there as an excuse to give us the scene that was completely taken from the original movie.
Right.
Which I don't think they needed to do. There were scenes in this that were visually interesting and shocking enough that you didn't need to just completely replicate
Yeah.
a scene.
I totally agree.
They decided to up the ante a little by lighting her on fire instead, and in addition, but it was the same scene and not as good.
And I mean, that, like I said, that character was very weird and mysterious and compelling, like, in her own right. They could have written her in to be something else to sort of further along the plot, but they didn't. So it felt very disjointed and very added in and not necessary. Like, she also could have been removed and it would have had zero effect on how the plot, where the story started and how it ended. She had no effect on anything.
Yeah, I wish they would have done something a little more interesting with her character because she was interesting visually. It's as creepy as she
absolutely.
looked.
She was super creepy, and I loved that. So that's why I was like, so disappointed that nothing came of that. Even like later visions that Marguerite, was that her name? Yeah, I think that she
Margaret. I don't know.
Yeah, that Margaret. That she later visions that she had of her after she had already like lit herself on fire. So like after the fact, and she sees her in a room like with her body burned. Like even that is less impactful because we don't know what purpose that character is even playing in the overall story of this. So like, why do we care that you see her? Like anyone would have seen her who saw that traumatic vision.
All
but
the
like
poor
that
kids at the orphanage who saw her.
But that doesn't add to the story that we're watching as viewers of this movie. So like it made for some cool visuals, but like it did not help progress the plot, and it didn't help build anything interesting about the story. Like, yeah, that's my thing. I liked it better than Immaculate, but it was way too long, and it had like those two very big negatives for me.
Yeah, the ending to this was not as strong as Immaculate for sure.
Right.
The reveal in this, while equally more obvious, was not as absurd as the one in Immaculate.
Right. Agreed.
But they also had to work within the parameters of an already existing franchise. Yep. I think it started really strong. I thought that the opening was incredibly strong with Ralph Ineson and the other guy from Game of Thrones.
Fucking Ralph Ineson, man.
He lends so much gravitas to anything he's in.
I just love him.
The cast is better in this too.
100%.
I would say. It's got a better cast. Sonia Braga, it was really crazy to see her. I haven't seen her in years, and I remember watching she's the head nun, and I remember watching her in the movie and being like, that woman is so striking. Who is that? And surprise, it was Sonia Braga from Kiss of the Spider Woman. She's an actress from the 90s. She was the lead nun.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she was great.
And it was crazy because we were watching Law & Order Original Recipe last night, and she was on an episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I also appreciated that this movie seemed to use a lot more, or at least more noticeably than Immaculate did, like Italian actors and actresses.
How come none of those people spoke Italian in front of her? Give me a fucking break. People in Italy do not speak English for you. They want you to speak
don't. But
Italian.
Maybe it was because they were like, listen, this is all about God, and we're trying to... They knew who she was. We all knew where this was ending. They're just trying to make her comfortable.
True. Yeah.
But, like, I loved her roommate. I thought she was adorable. And that poor, ill-fated Paolo, was that his name? I don't remember what his name was, but yeah.
Yeah, the stuff that they changed was weird, too. I understand why they did it. In the Omen, I can't say the First Omen because that's the name of this movie.
Right.
In the original Omen, it was a satanic cult, was it not?
That's my recollection of it.
That was what I gathered from the original, and I just rewatched it last week.
It has been a very long time since I've watched it, admittedly.
Okay, I just rewatched it.
Okay.
And that was what I got out of it. But I guess it makes sense for the priest placed Damien with Thorn, right? So it had to have been within the church. They changed it in this, and I think smartly.
Yeah.
To it going from a sect of Satanists to the Catholic Church themselves, who wanted to bring people back into the church, because this is, of course, coinciding with all the protests and stuff.
Yeah.
They wanted to bring people back to the church, so they thought that, releasing the Antichrist into the world would be a great way to bring people back.
Yeah, that it's
the
releasing
church.
a fear of something to everybody, that they see the church as their only way of combating this new evil.
Which I think was a smart move for this and makes it more topical.
And it makes it, more believable too, like far more realistic.
Right. So I liked that they changed it. Unless I just I read The Omen wrong from the beginning. Because I always felt that movie was a pretty conservative movie that didn't really question the church.
Yeah, I can't even speak to it because I should have rewatched it before this, but they've never been my favorite movies, so.
I'm still not a fan. I give the original Omen a 3. I give this a 3.
Yeah.
I've tried many times to watch it and get into it, but I just can't. The jingle is really catchy. I will give it that. It's got one of the better themes of any horror movie, and it was exciting when they did bring it back in this, and I appreciated in this that they chose to wait until almost the very end to bring it back. I liked that.
Yeah.
And I like horror movies that are about Catholicism, because I think that there's a lot of, we talked about it while we were watching it, all the pageantry involved.
Oh, yeah.
It really does make you think about how culty and weird Catholicism is, and how it is
100%.
one of those weird cult religions. It just happens to be the biggest, most powerful one.
Yep.
So it's more accepted.
But with their gowns and their colors and their chants and rituals, sorry, folks, but from an atheistic point of view, it's weird and it's very culty. No shame, do your thing. That's totally fine. But and I love it. I think a lot of it is absolutely beautiful, and I find it incredibly fascinating. The ritualistic nature of a lot of stuff that Catholicism involves, and the even just the importance of the colors that they're wearing and the robes that they're wearing, and the this representing the body of Christ. Yeah, part of me understands that that's batshit crazy, but I also am super fascinated and interested by the idea of all of that.
And the pomp and the ritual, yeah.
Yeah.
But then also it makes you think about how powerful, and what goes along with power every time is corruption. And
Sure.
Whenever you have men in power, you have them using women as a commodity, which is what they're doing here with this woman. And which is what often happens with powerful groups.
Yeah. Unfortunately, a lot of powerful religious groups.
Yes. There were obvious homages to Rosemary's Baby in here that I appreciated. The shots of Margaret's face, and especially the shots from her point of view of being carried and looking at the ceiling.
Yeah. I noticed that. I liked those. Those were nice touches.
I did too. I really enjoyed, I was hoping for a more visually striking movie from her, because her season of Channel Zero was so interesting looking and had such cool set pieces. I encourage you to watch it, at least the first couple episodes, just for how it looked.
I wonder if she was just made to tone it down a little bit and make it more palatable, to a wider audience, and make it more of a theatrical win, as opposed to something that's going to mainly be interesting to a very specific group of folks.
Yeah, maybe so. I did think that there were glimmers of kind of her stylishness in especially those shots. I really enjoyed the shots that were close-ups of the face with the cloth covering it.
Oh, I loved
thought those were really cool.
Those were really neat. Made it look very skeletal.
But other than that, I didn't really see her style too present in this, which I was kind of disappointed by.
Yeah, I don't know her style, but just thinking about insane scenes, or scenes that were visually compelling or memorable. There was a very specific birth scene that we don't see a lot in horror movies or in movies in general. I've never given birth. I have no
the actual
intention.
point of
Yes.
it coming out of the
Of
vagina.
giving birth.
Yeah.
Not interested in it at all. But the thought of it and the idea of it is pretty terrifying to me.
Oh, yeah.
Sure, miracle of life, whatever, that's fine. But like what it does to one's body is insane. And so in this movie, like to their credit, they don't hold on that visual for long, but they give you snippets enough of it where you see it enough to sort of get that sort of horrific like terror. Like even though it's a natural thing, what you're seeing feels unnatural and like seems unnatural. And
It's unnatural that they have her strapped down and stuff.
well, yeah, that for sure. But I mean, like just the idea of like your body opening up in a way that it's pushing forth like another person is just crazy. It's crazy to me. I know it's like
And gross.
a biologically natural thing, but like if you've ever watched a live birth, it is a gnarly thing to see. It is gnarly. It is not a miracle. I mean,
It's a miracle that it ever goes right.
exactly. Like you're watching it and you're like, holy shit. Like, and there's a whole, like the doctor has to cut. So you know what they're cutting. Like anyone who's familiar with it, you know, they're cutting the perineum, like someone was called like perineum. Yeah. Whatever pronunciation. But like, yeah, but the little taint, they're just cutting that to get
And
it
they
out
do
there.
it
But
so
like
brutally in this
they
movie.
do it so
Oh my
nasty
God.
in this movie. And that happens super often. That is an incredibly common thing to happen. If they don't cut it, it probably tears
Yeah.
on its own. So like I really appreciated that they showed more of that than what I think I've seen in a lot of horror movies.
I don't know which of the birth scenes they had to recut several times, but one of them, they were wanting to give this an NC-17 and had to recut like 5 times.
To me, it would be that one you see kind of like towards the middle.
The one with the claw coming out?
Yeah, like that's straight up a vag shot.
Yeah. I would assume it was that one.
You see crowning, like, and
Yeah.
that visual is hard. You don't see, that doesn't happen with any of the other birth scenes. So to me, that would be the one that would get an NC-17 rating. Even though, which is crazy, if we're gonna if the world we're living in now is acting as if that's some sort of like amazing thing that we all should be striving for, like why are we acting as if it's something we shouldn't be watching?
That's a great point.
But if you can't watch it, you shouldn't be acting like that's what everyone should be doing.
I mean,
Or forcing it on people.
don't act like you think it's gross, at least.
Yeah, no,
And
it's
it's something shameful that no one should see.
it's horrifying. It looks so painful. But yeah, that scene to me was like a very intense.
The initial scene of her giving birth when she was screaming and stuff in the street had to have been an homage to possession.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So we got the second movie in as many episodes
Yeah.
with an homage to possession, which I think is funny.
Yeah.
There's been a big resurgence of fans of that movie. It's not one of my favorites. I always kind
I
of
liked
found Isabella Gianni's breakdown in that movie to be too much. Personally. But I know that's a very
Personally.
controversial thing to say. You want to talk spoilers here?
Sure.
Well, do you recommend this?
I recommend it. Even though I hated the end and even though I hated the ending and thought it was stupid, like I don't think this is a bad movie. I think it's like it's a fine watch. It's not one to avoid.
I don't think you need to see it in a theater.
I don't
I'd wait
think
till
you need
it's
to
on
see it in
free
a theater.
streaming.
Wait till it's
I wouldn't
streaming.
pay to rent either.
100%.
But you could watch this and then watch the other Omen. It'd be a mediocre double feature for you.
I think there's enough visually and with the story to make this like a worthwhile movie to watch.
I would say if you want to watch something instead that's better and you haven't seen Rosemary's Baby, please watch that.
I mean, yeah, obviously.
But otherwise, I would say I recommend Prevenge. It's a different type of movie, but very smart, very good. And I wonder what it's on. Let's look. Prevenge is on AMC Plus and Shudder.
Oh, nice.
You should watch it. All right, spoilers. what happens? Well, it's Margaret, not little girl, who draws all the demon pictures. They're sisters, actually.
Surprise. Yeah, we barely even talked about her, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, she was a red herring. And not all that interesting.
And some of us thought she was a very obvious red herring.
Yes. So it's Margaret, and what they've been doing is taking her mom and just repeatedly raping her by something that they call the jackal, who is a demon with a jackal head, who keeps impregnating her, but the babies always are not viable, except for two, Margaret and this other little girl. And for some reason they sent her away, kept trying, but they think the only way they can get a boy, because all of these other ones, Carlita, thank you.
Yeah.
The only way they think they can get a boy is for the jackal to then subsequently rape one of his children.
Sure.
I don't know where they come to this conclusion, but whatever. So she has been impregnated by these people in a ritual. Her roommate is in on it.
That was kind of a sad realization.
It was, but I liked they did it.
I mean, I did too, but I was just kind of like, "Aw, you seemed nice."
She was nice, but she wasn't.
But you weren't.
She helped facilitate this. So she's impregnated after a night of drinking, and the priests get her out of there. The one who's come to her thinking that her sister is the one, and they need to stop her. Ralph Ineson's character, who is a character from the original Omen. Mm-hmm. I didn't put together that they had the same name.
I didn't
it makes
either,
sense
until I read afterwards.
Yeah. But they get her back. She winds up back at the convent somehow. I forget. And they give her a C-section, hopefully with an epidural. I don't know. She keeps saying it hurts.
Yeah, they give her something, but she does say, "I feel so much pain."
Because they're rooting around in her stomach. It's disgusting. Mm-hmm. She gives birth to twins, a boy and a girl. And nobody pays attention to the girl for a really long time, which is very funny. And
Yes. Yep.
Not at all unrealistic. They just leave her there. And she breaks away and attempts to kill Damien, but she wusses out and she can't do it. And he's taken away from her and then given to Robert Thorne to raise. And that is what starts the first movie.
Yep.
Bill Nighy's character promises she'll be taken care of, but then the nun is like, "Yeah, let's burn the place down."
Well, I mean, she kills him.
There was a girl
first.
baby in there. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
She was like, "Don't you hear God's voice telling you it'll be fine?" And she was like, "No, I only hear my own." And then she stabs him in the neck. That's when they're like, "No, protect the child. Like, burn them all.
Right.
Leave him to die."
And the demon, which is kind of crazy. They're just cutting their
losses.
losses.
They're like, "We're done with you. You're also just nothing more than like a broodmare. Like, we just need you for boning."
That's right. But she gets out. Margaret gets out. She gets her baby.
Because Carlita comes in.
Carlita comes in and helps her. Yeah, so they run away together and are living out off the grid.
One, how'd they fucking get there?
Right.
How are they getting the supplies and such to be living a life that allows her to support an infant?
For years.
Because then we see her as like a toddler.
Right. And Ralph Ineson's character comes back to track her down.
Even though we saw that he was presumably dead after a pretty vicious car crash.
Oh, yeah, the car crash.
Yeah, sure, it wasn't confirmed that he was dead, but like that's kind of a real lame psych to be like.
That's how they got her back. They wrecked the car. I forgot how they got her back.
Yeah. Remember, and then that's when she does the whole like possession thing where she's like,
yes,
having her orgasmic contractions outside of the car.
So that's how they chose to end it.
That was stupid. It was so fucking stupid. Ralph Ineson walking out there in his like priest garb. Where'd you come from, sir? It just showed her like in this tiny ass little hut on a mountain. Where'd you come from? How'd you get there? You are not even covered in snow. You're not even wearing like appropriate clothing for that weather. So how'd you find that area?
Yeah, I didn't like how they chose to end it.
Yeah, and it was just also like way too much the like everyone's happy.
Right.
It would have been
that they all
better
died in the fire.
That they died in the fire.
Yeah.
Carlita, she could go in to try and save them, but have her die in there too. That would have been a way more appropriate, like, fitting end to that, and built up still another movie.
You could have still written something.
And the original Omen. Like, that is just way more realistic. Not this, like, oh my God, now we're off grid and we're living this sort of country life. It was just so dumb. It felt very forced.
Yeah, it felt like a forced happy ending for a studio movie. Mm-hmm. They also take a lot of liberties, like we kind of talked about with the continuity. They talk about him being an ambassador already. That happened after he got the son.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but the thing that is kind of a big deal is that Father Brennan, who is Ralph Ineson's character in this movie, in the original Omen, also for some reason had a 666 birthmark.
Oh, I don't even remember that. Jesus. Okay.
As if he had been... if it was something that was given to to the Satanists. Or something. And that wouldn't be possible with the logic of this movie, because in this movie, it's a natural thing that is appearing on the child of the jackal. And there have only been female children, so it wouldn't be something that he could have. Although they don't talk about it in this movie. If it's supposed to be fitting in with the subsequent movie, that's not going to fly. But whatever. I wouldn't probably have remembered that on my own.
No, I definitely wouldn't have. No way.
But still, overall, I'm pretty disappointed. I will say...
it's a meh.
It's a meh for me, too.
If it's free streaming, watch it. But, like, don't spend your money to go see it in a theater.
No, the only reason I would say maybe see it in a theater is because the score is really interesting and good and scary. It's made by Mark Corvin, who was the same person who did the score for The Witch. And it also has
and you can
a lot
absolutely,
of like,
I was just going to say, I did not even put that together, but I thought as soon as you hear that sound in this movie, I'm like, well, this sounds like The Witch, plus Ralph Ineson, and then there you go. Yeah. And then it just made me want to watch The Witch.
It lent the movie a lot of clout that maybe it didn't earn.
That score in particular is awesome. Like,
yeah.
I did not realize it was the same one. That makes perfect sense because that
immediately
sounds exactly like The Witch.
Yeah, that guy does a very good job. There are a lot of crazy sounds in the movie too, as far as the sound design, where I was impressed with how they were.
Yeah, I would agree with you that that's maybe the only reason to go see it in the theater, unless you've got a solid sound system at home.
And then no.
But yeah.
The score was good. Visually, it was okay. Not really up to my expectations, though, based on the filmmaker.
Well,
I hope our next movie is better. Actually, I know it's better because I've seen it already.
Oh, okay. Well, what's our next movie?
Our next movie is Late Night with the Devil.
Yay, finally.
Starring David
Dastmalchian.
Yeah.
We like him. I love his last name.
It's now streaming on Shudder and AMC Plus. We figured we better not do another theater movie. Have something you can watch from home. It's a found footage movie.
Love it.
And it's another period piece taking place in the 70s, just like this. The 70s being my favorite era for movies. I'm never upset when something takes place during that time.
I will say the scene of the nuns, the gals, like, getting dressed up in 70s garb and, like, wigs and going to the disco. I was like, I would love to be a part of this.
Yeah.
What's happening right now. I even Shazammed the song because I liked it.
It was a good song. All right, so that's what we thought. Tell us what you think. Let us know your favorite pregnancy horrors. Let us know what you thought of this and Immaculate. Are you tired of this now? It's still going to be topical for the foreseeable future, so I think we're going to keep getting movies about women losing their agency and getting their rights taken away from them.
Yep.
Because it's scary. You know what I read recently that made a lot of sense to me that I never put together? Because we always talk about this. We always talk about how horror is always about the time, even if it takes place at a different time.
Yeah.
It's always about the time that it was made in because it reflects what we're afraid of now. And I read something about how torture porn movies blew up right at the beginning of the Iraq War and the War on Terror, and that it was related to the amount of videos that were available on the internet
of
for the
beheadings
first time
and that sort of
people,
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And that really made sense to me. I hadn't thought about it before.
Oh, absolutely.
So, pregnancy horror is our thing now.
That's fun.
It's fun for us.
It's fun for us. I love it. Yay.
Probably we're going to do Abigail soon. Jamie would like to do Civil War.
Yeah. I mean, we would both like to do Civil War. It's Alex Garland.
I'm very interested
of his
in
movies.
Yes, I'm a fan of his movies. I'm not sure how horror it's going to be, but it's going to be scary.
I think we're going to feel horrified by it. Therefore, I would argue it belongs in the genre.
All right. That's valid. I guess let us know which of the two you'd like to see us do next. But first, Late Night with the Devil.
Yep.
Something on streaming. Something that, spoiler alert, I enjoyed a little better.
All right. Well.
And something that's not a franchise. You know?
Yeah. Something original. It's doing its own thing.
Yeah,
and I'm happy
exactly.
to go back to it, found footage. You know I love them.
Exactly. That too. We saw some trailers, mostly for franchise things. We saw a new Planet of the Apes trailer, a new Alien trailer. Both of them looked fine.
They looked fine.
I'm not particularly interested. I mean, I'll always watch an Alien movie.
Same. But I don't know that I would go buy a movie ticket to go see an Alien movie.
No. But I probably will buy a ticket to see Watchers, the movie by M. Night Shyamalan's daughter, who I will eventually start referring to by her name and not M. Night Shyamalan's daughter.
Sure.
But at this point, I don't know her first name. But the trailer looks cool. I assume they're just a zoo display for aliens, right?
I mean, that's
what it seems
That's what
like.
it looked like. It's who? Dakota Fanning and the actress, I don't know her name, but from Barbarian and Black Mirror.
Yeah. And others.
And others, sure, but they seem to be the main focus.
But that one looks promising. Right
Yes,
now,
it
that
does.
In a Violent Nature and Long Legs are probably
Long
my...
legs. Mm-hmm.
Long Legs. That second trailer came out. It looks really cool, really creepy.
Looks so creepy.
I can't wait.
I can't either. That one's going to be fun, I think. I hope.
I think it's going to be scary. I hope.
I'm ready for scary.
I'm ready for scary, too.
We also saw the trailer for the Americanized version of Speak No Evil.
Oh, that's right.
That gave away the twist.
Oh, my God. It gave everything
the trailer
away.
Showed all of the stuff except for the very, very end. But, like, good God, every other point was, like, shown in this.
Because, you know, in the original Speak No Evil, there's a lot of, like, vagueness around, is
100%.
this guy a sociopath? Is he crazy? Or are we being crazy?
That's the best part of the movie. That's what makes it so successful and so fucking insane.
Yeah.
Do yourself a favor. If you haven't seen it, watch the original Speak No Evil. Like, I don't know
Before
that
you
we should
see
even
the
bother
trailer.
with this American one. Yeah, don't watch this trailer. It's going to ruin everything for you.
I mean, I'm sure James McAvoy is very good.
He is good in most things. And Aisling... What's her name from The Mockingbird?
Aisling
Franciosi. I mean, I'm a huge fan of hers. So I don't blame them for, like, taking a cool script and running with it. But, like, this wasn't needed in any way, shape, or form. It's just, like you said, folks not wanting to read subtitles. The original Speak No Evil, like, it's added to my list of movies that just, like, fuck me up by the end and made me feel that thing. And I'm like, oh, you got me. I like you.
And also leading up to it, the anxiety. Jesus Christ.
It's
and
insane.
the awkwardness. I hate awkwardness.
It's like crawling out of your skin. Yes.
Awkwardness makes me so uncomfortable.
Where you're like, how do you get out of this? And like, how do you not hurt somebody's feelings, but also like leave the situation?
Oh, and who else is in that? What's her face from, also from Black Mirror? Shit. Mackenzie Davis.
I don't know her, but okay.
She plays the other wife. There's Aisling Franciosi and then her, and then James McAvoy.
But who is she in Orange is
in Black Mirror? She wasn't
Black
on Orange is
Mirror.
Black
yeah,
Mirror.
that's right. Never mind. She was in
San Junipero.
which I didn't like. Fair enough. But we talked about this. Okay.
Yes.
Great.
You're still wrong.
I'm pretty right for me. Just didn't do it for me. Sorry.
I'll never understand.
It's fine.
Never.
You don't need to. It's just corny.
All right.
No, I love, what was the other one? Like the Save
Hang
the
the
Last
DJ.
Dance? Hang the DJ. I love that one. And that's the one with the gal from The Watchers.
Okay.
Whatever. That's Black Mirror. I love Black Mirror.
And there's going to be a new season of that.
I don't feel so positively about that, but we'll see.
Oh, we also found out that Don Hertzfeld and Ari Aster are collaborating, which is very cool. People misquoted them to say that they were working on a horror something, which isn't necessarily the case. I think people were just overeager.
I mean, sure. What are they collaborating on then? Just
don't know.
something we don't know?
They haven't specified.
But we did see something about Nosferatu. Like, that's coming out soon, right?
I think it's like July.
Okay, yeah. I don't think Robert Eggers can do any wrong, so real excited about that.
Yeah, me too. All right, listeners, it's been fun. Let us know what you've been watching, reading, how you've been doing. Got any book recommendations for me? I'd love to hear them. Listeners, I hope that you have a lovely couple weeks. Enjoy the spring weather. Jamie, thank you for doing this with me.
Of course.
Enjoy the rest of your day off.
I will. It's sunny. I'm going to maybe go do some yard work.
Yard work.
Or clean my house a little bit, since I have visitors coming.
I'm going to read.
That also sounds great. I'm
Yeah,
waiting for my book to come into the library. I put it on hold. I'm waiting.
What's your next book?
It's a self-help book. I'm not going to put the title out there.
That's fair. That's fair. Not really
Yeah.
pertinent to a horror podcast anyway.
It's not.
No. All
But I'll
right.
tell you off air.
Okay. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Leave a review, please, if you would.
5
We
stars
haven't gotten
only.
any
Sorry,
new ones
it's just
for
like
a while.
weird thing.
Just a weird
with a page.
fluke that they have.
It's only what they allow, so sorry.
Yeah. We like your feedback. We appreciate
Yeah.
it. Until next time, I've been Amy.
I'm Jamie.
Thank you and good night.
Bye.
Bye.